Hi, a very
Hi,
good
good
morning to
morning.
you, ladies and gentlemen, and warm welcome to the first session of this limited edition series called Business Unusual. My name is Karen Lam, and the aim of this series is really to provide you with a platform so that you get to hear from the best, get ideas to help you navigate through this crisis that we call COVID-19 that has brought the world to its knees. And once a week, I'll be bringing in business leaders who have insights, who are on the ground, and who are making the tough decisions. We want to find out what they're doing and what they're doing to prepare themselves, more importantly, for this post-COVID world. You'll get to post your questions on this platform. I'll see what I can do to get my guests to answer it. But most of you have already done your homework when you signed up for this webinar by posing your questions in the registration form. I've incorporated those questions into this session. And I can't think of a better way to launch this series than with one of Singapore's most successful, and might I also add, most intrepid businessmen. His name is Sam Gui of Tee Yih Jia Manufacturing. A warm welcome to you, Sam.
Hi, thank you so much.
Well, Sam and I met back in 2016 when he was a guest on my show, Powerless Asia, that featured on Channel News Asia. And this is us on board his yacht. We're sailing on the South China Sea, just off his resort, the Sutera Harbour in Kota, Kinabalu in East Malaysia. I chose this picture particularly because I just wanted to remember what the sea breeze actually smells like. Now, Sam is more popularly known as the Popiah King, and it's a well-deserved title. From his factories in Singapore, Malaysia, China, 40 million spring roll skins are churned every single day. If you think about it, that's about 30,000 skins a minute, assuming the factory runs 24 hours. 90% of his production is shipped overseas. Now, you don't have to be an expert to know that if you are in the food manufacturing business, particularly in frozen foods right now, you are in the money. But it's not all rosy for Sam. He has a diversified portfolio, and that includes property as well as hospitality in Malaysia, Singapore, and China. And we all know that those sectors aren't doing as well. Now, before we get straight into business, I just want to give you a little bit of a backstory to Sam Gui and really why he says what he says and understand where he comes from. Sam is a first generation Singaporean. He arrived from China with his mother when he was 6 years old. And as all migrants were at that time, they were poor and they lacked a command of English. Sam left school when he was 19 and he followed his heart. He's a businessman at heart. And those of you who have the entrepreneurship sailing through your blood, you will understand that when you've got to go, you've just got to go. So he took up a loan, started a business, but it failed. But not deterred by his failure, he decided to take up a second loan. And this time he succeeded. What was it? No, it wasn't a Popiah skin business. It was an electrical and mechanical workshop that he started. And it was a success by all accounts. Back in the 60s, if you were churning a revenue of $500,000, you were a success. But even that was too small a destiny for Sam Gui. Things began to change when one day he was approached by his neighbor from a factory unit nearby who asked him if he'd like to buy up a share in his Popiah skin business. I think it was more out of sympathy for his friend's financial woes that Sam decided, yes, I will take a share of it. But he continued to focus on his workshop for many years after that. But things finally came to a head when a conflict arose between him and his partner. And Sam felt that the best way to resolve this conflict was really to buy over his friend's share. And that was when, with 2 feet in and his position consolidated in Tee Yih Jia, this was back in 1977, he decided to commit. And his commitment included putting good use of his engineering experience, he automated the factory, and soon enough, it was churning a good number of popiah skins. But it hit a snag. You see, in those days, popiah skins were rounded, and Sam's machines could only produce skins that were square. But instead of changing his operations to fit market demands, Sam decided, nope, I'm not going to be fitted into a round hole since I'm a square peg. So he went all around the world, road shows, cooking demonstrations, to educate the world on the wonders of square-shaped popiah skins. He met with chefs from the UK and Hong Kong to tell them how much easier it was to fold square-shaped popiah skins. And we all know today that the popiah skins that we buy from the supermarkets are all square-shaped. So this is the man you have to thank for that. Tee Yih Jia produces its products under various brands. They have their flagship, of course, this is Spring Home. And there are also other brands under their umbrella. There's Happy Belly, Master Chef, and Rio Shobo. So, Sam, I hope that that's an accurate reflection of your past.
Oh, thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us. This is day 22 of the circuit breaker in Singapore. How are you doing?
It's okay. Because my GSH, the office, closed for 1 over month. Tee Yih Jia will still operate.
Okay. Right, so GSH is your public listed company that oversees your properties. Tee Yih Jia is solely on your food manufacturing business. Let's talk a little bit about Tee Yih Jia right now, which is operational. Is it fully operational?
Yes.
In full capacity?
Yeah, now we're in full capacity. Yes.
What about the factories in other parts, like in Malaysia and China, for instance?
Malaysia now, because we only run for 50%.
Oh, okay. So
Singapore, we are 100%. And
right.
China also 100%.
Are you able to meet demand right now?
Now it's a local market increased quite a lot. Maybe people buy for keep in at home.
And what about exporting? How has your supply chain been affected? 90% of your products, particularly in Singapore, are exported. Are you able to take them out of the country?
Yes, no problem. But overseas a bit slow down because all the Europe, United States, many countries closed down. So a bit slow.
Are you able to? So what are you doing then? Have you changed the way you operate since the lockdowns?
What do you mean that?
Like, you know, for instance, if you have your factories and your particularly your supply chain, the logistics behind it all, is it difficult to get your products out of the country?
No, Singapore, we out of country, no problem at all. Container, everything still normal.
Okay, so you are running business as usual, really?
Yeah, quite affected a bit, but quite smooth.
In what way is it affected?
The mean our ready food, our roti paratha, our ready to eat food, spring roll, all the things we do it quite well. People like it, buy at home and just microwave, just heat up. Very easy for anybody.
Are there changes in the way you have been running the operations?
Operation now in Singapore is 24 hours.
Whoa, okay.
Even Saturday, Sunday, we also try to do more for the supply and demand.
So are you keeping up with demand, or are you, you know, is there too much demand for you right now?
Demand now quite a lot for local.
Is it more than normal?
Oh, more than normal. Singapore more than normal.
By how much?
By maybe more than double.
Wow, really?
Yes.
So that's good news for you. You know, I suppose the question I have an audience question that's come in, and I'm hoping you can answer this question. What advice would you give manufacturers whose logistics are affected by the lockdowns?
The main, what you mean? One more time?
What advice? How can manufacturers operate if their exports, if their goods are being locked down and they can't, the difficulties getting their goods overseas?
Well, for me now, I don't have this experience because for me, quite easy for me to export around the world, everywhere, still quite smooth. Nothing difficulty for me.
But what about the raw materials that come in from Malaysia to
So,
Singapore?
yes, we have some difficulties from Malaysia. From Malaysia, we have some problem, but we can solve for other places.
And which other places would that be?
Maybe other country, ASEAN, and other China, other place.
Does that mean your cost would have gone up?
Cost are quite the same, but only the rate a bit going up. But we have a kit stock for a few months in our factory.
Okay. So if you look at the way you operate today, now when the lockdown is lifted and when we start living a more normal life, do you think that your operations would change in any way?
I think our operation is still the same because we run a 24-hour when day one until today. We always 24-hour production. So I think we won't change much. Only capacity, whether need so much or not.
Now, you've always had problems, for instance, with your workforce. You have said that sometimes you can't get enough people to come into your factories to work. Will that, you think, be an issue after the lockdown?
Yes, this one is quite difficult for me because we need a lot of worker. Singapore 1-to-1. If you want foreigner, you must get one Singaporean. So the factory is 50% foreigner, 50% Singaporean. So we want to get a worker now from foreigner, not easy because they all coming in must volunteer and come to the work. Not easy now. Now want to get a new staff, workforce in the factory, not easy.
They say that definitely
shortage of worker now.
Right. Well, unemployment will go up for sure. Do you think that you'll be able to get a larger local workforce since people are going to be out of a job?
No. Now still today, we want to get more workers. Some company, even not in the business, closed down or what we want. Also, we can't get it done.
Why?
I don't know why.
Singaporeans are picky, are we?
Singaporean is okay. Maybe they all work at home. A lot of people work at home now. Still not so bad. I think we need a more worker. But Singapore not easy to get a worker now. Singapore.
And you think things will
special worker work in the factory. Work in the office, become manager, general manager, CEO. That one quite easy.
So blue collar workers are difficult to find.
Not easy.
Okay. Now, Sam, you are also the non-resident ambassador, the Singaporean non-resident ambassador to Brazil, and that's a role that particularly looks into agriculture. I just want to ask you your views on food security. That's become a big issue these days. People are talking about where is our food going to be coming from? Are we going to be reliant on our own, on our own agriculture and our own resources, or do we bring them in? How do you think this pandemic will change the way food security will operate from here on?
I think our Singapore is very small society, small country, with all the food supply from around the world, especially ASEAN, and then overseas also. We import a lot of meat from New Zealand, Australia, American, everywhere we import. So I think last year think food security is very important for us. So I built one of the biggest cold room chain store in our next door to my factory. We spent about 400 over million. The one is Asia, one of the biggest automation storage for cold room and automated manufacturing. So I think this factory will be completed end of this year. For the COVID-19, I don't know, maybe delay 1 or 2 months time, maybe 3 months. So we will complete it at early next year. So when we're moving in, we want to do more product, special import, quite a lot of frozen food from everywhere and store in Singapore. We then we export to China. And Singapore also can use.
Okay. When was all this planned?
The plan is 2 years ago.
Very far-sighted as usual.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I'd like to now find out, just focus your attention now to your hospitality business. So, you know, it's quite a extreme. On one hand, you know, with Tee Yih Jia, you can't meet demand. And then on the other hand, your hospitality business, Sutera Harbour is your 1,000-room, 5-star resort in Kota Kinabalu in Malaysia. That had to shut its doors with the lockdown in Malaysia. It's day 42 now of the lockdown. Sam, how long can you hold out?
We understand because of NCO. I think this one is good for Malaysia and good for Sabah also. This one for people safety. So I hope this COVID-19 can soon as possible can get over. But for ours, of course, everybody facing difficulties. But our cash flow should be not much problem because number one, we listing company. Number two, we never borrow too much money. We still have a cash in the bank until end of this year.
End of next year.
End of this year. Yeah. So next year, I think should be no problem.
So, what is your advice to companies? You know, moving forward, I know that you're quite a stickler for not over leveraging yourself, and cash is king in your books. What's your cash ratio at this point anyway?
For me, because like Tee Yih Jia, I sole provider. In the GSH listing company, I also become shareholder, about 60% belong to me. So I'm very careful to think about spending, because we cannot rely all the money for borrow. That is very tough. After this thing happened, you will feel straight away you feel it. And if you really cannot take it, cannot survive, straight away you will lose a lot the opportunity. So I think when I'm facing 1987, 1996, so now this time I think very difficulties. Nobody know what happened tomorrow because this COVID-19, who knows from the air? Every time you walk out, even you put mask, everything, but you don't know how you will get.
So you would say that this is probably the worst crisis. You had the 86 oil crisis, you have the 96 Asian financial crisis, and even as recently as the 2008 global financial crisis, COVID is way off the scales in terms of
100 times more worse than before. In 1987, when the financial crisis, I built a new factory. So 97, I also built a new factory. Now, COVID-19, I also built the biggest factory. Next year just completed. 3 times all join very close. So I think we must be confident on ourselves. No need to worry because things happen will be happen. How you worry also no use. But try your best.
But how do you make sure? How do you make sure that you are okay? I mean, business goes through cycles, right? We all know that. Tee Yih Jia has been around for over 40 years. How do you cushion risks in the way you operate?
For me, Tee Yih Jia coming 50 years, not 40 over here, 50 years. Last year, we will do 50 years. Tee Yih Jia, we always want to do everything supply and demand. What kind of thing you do must supply and demand. Not only you think how to sell, but demand happen. Supply and demand is very important. We don't fight in the price. We fight in the quality, fair price. Not say you sell $1, I sell 90 cents, and I take over your market. The one cannot survive. So we work together, hand to hand. We can't work together. That's important. Not try to cut the price, take down the market. It's also very difficult to survive. Every company must have profit. Then just can survive. Buy a new machine, keep a good quality. Of course, we not overspend. Spending very important. For my company, we shortage. We try to open up more overtime. Even Saturday, Sunday, we also work. But really cannot cook, then we just buy a new machine expansion. So this time I expansion a new factory because for 3 years, it's very, very tough. So we no choice. We want to keep the market or lost market. Keep the market, we must build a new factory to continue to grow. But food manufacturing, not easy. Not like financial company can make money so fast. This one is cent by cent. Dollars and dollars, $2. Not so easy. Let's say we investment at least take 10 or 20 years or even 30 years just can return back all your investment. Not easy, but you must confident what you want.
What in the past crisis that you have experienced is helping you today?
Oh yeah, give me a lot of experience, like 87, 97, 2008. When this crisis coming in, I facing 87, 97, 2008, these three crises. You can see who's your friend, who's your banker support, who's the real customer, who's your supporter. You can see very clear. Then you can learn a lot of people how to be helped by himself.
Are you sleeping well, Sam, these days?
This day because nowhere to go. After work, go back, I sleep quite well. Better than before. Before I sleep 3 to 4 hours a day. Now at least 6 to 8 hours.
So that's a good thing. This crisis has been a good thing for your health then.
No, I think crisis, I'm not really happy because a lot of people suffer.
Yeah.
I'm also very lonely. At home is really, really lonely. All the times I go to see around the world to make up my friend, partner, working partnership, see all the customer. So the time passed very fast. So now I still in my factory. Every day I spend the time, morning, afternoon, in my factory. At least the time quite not so difficult for me.
So hopefully spending time with us now helps you to make time pass faster as well.
Wow, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Now, Sam, you mentioned that you do realize that people are suffering through this crisis. Have you had to lay off workers in Sutera Harbour?
Sutera Harbour, we maybe ask our staff on leave. Some manager will give take out his leave, and some really because want to coming back, but not many. A little bit, yes.
So they are on unpaid leave?
Some will be paid leave, some unpaid leave. Not many. But I must ask my CEO because I'm not day to day to run. I'm not clear. I must ask my CEO. and my people.
What is you're not the one to deliver the bad news to the employees, but by the same time, what instructions did you give to your CEO on how to handle this human resource issue?
But I think this time came in, shock everybody. Everybody suffer. Everybody get very, very difficulties. So important thing, especially hotel, is hurt a lot. Before, every day we full house, can't get a room. Now today, all empty. So the electricity, security, cleaner, all must pay. So one hotel, we still opening for the local nurse and for them come back from the overseas Malaysian, stay in our Pacific. We still open one for this service.
But it's very, I mean, that's negligible, right? The number of guests right now that you have.
Yeah, not much. We all oversee all closed down.
I have a question here from an audience member, and the question is, now that your business, the hospitality business has contracted, what measures have you taken to help you ride through this contraction?
What do you mean there?
What are you doing? I mean, now, you will. Let's be honest about it. There will be losses that will be registered for 2020, financial year 2020. So what are you doing to make sure that at least the losses are minimized, or what are you doing to make sure that in 2021 you try to make up for some of it?
So because our hotel just upgrade all the room to upgrade the furniture, carpet, all kind of things we change. Just step by step, we change for 3 years, really completed. But it's okay. I think you must confident on yourself. Because Kota, Kinabalu resource is a lot of people. When he come, he will come again. I think this place is really for holiday, for kind of a meeting, all kind of things. I think it's really good space. Things are for 3 to 6 months. Maybe you suffer, afterward you can be back. The world, 3 to 6 months, the world cannot continue like this. Nobody can survive. So come back. So be confident. Malaysia also control very well. Now not many people getting better and better. I hope Singapore also will getting better and better.
So indeed, this isn't the first time in your ownership of Sutera Harbour. You bought Sutera Harbour back in 2014, and at that time, MH370 had just gone missing, and there was a backlash because Chinese tourists weren't coming into Malaysia, and your business, your hotel, a large bulk of your guests come from China. So after buying it, you immediately saw a dip. What experience did you take from that you are applying today in this crisis? I know it's nowhere close. A reduction of Chinese tourists is nothing compared to a shutdown of the hotel. But are there any experiences that you take today from that MH370 experience?
Okay, the time also very, very bad time for the Kota Kinabalu hotel. Our hotel about 40% not full. So that 1 year also quite tough. But luckily our guests not come from China more. It's Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, all mixed. Singaporean all go there, all Malaysian also go there to stay. So I think we not rely on China so much, less than half. 50% Chinese, other one 70% will be other countries, Australia, everywhere.
So did you learn any lessons from that scare that you're applying today?
You must patient. The time also very worried. Nobody every day, not much flight in, this and that, but we confident. So after I think the time of 8 to 10 months, then getting much better and better until today.
So you see tourism picking up again, what, in September this year?
See what kind of this one COVID-19, how long, and then how confident.
What's your take?
I think after August should be more clear picture.
You know, the Malaysian government has said that the travel ban may likely stay even after the lockdown is lifted. So that's going to affect tourists coming in. So you still think that August is possibly that time when things will pick up, or a little later?
No, I mean August is COVID-19 will be more clear. Whether the tourists coming in when, I don't know. That one must important government policy, oversee all the government, all the country people thinking. That important, not simple things. Let's say even the foreigner whether want to come out for holiday or not, now nobody know. Must wait and see. I think we take next year the picture will be more clear.
So your crystal ball, what does your crystal ball tell you about when your business in Sutera Harbour will start to pick up?
I hope, everybody also hope the thing can soon as possible, but nobody know what thing happen. This one again, nobody can tell you, can advise you, only you must confident on yourself, because Sutera Harbour is there, research, the property is there. We cannot say no confidence, just leave it like this. We really must confident. If you really, you must upgrade for your hotel to do more things and see what to get back the tourists come back your hotel again. Only the timing, how long nobody know.
Yeah, so we are seeing a lot of hotels closing down, a lot of smaller hotels, medium-sized hotels. But if we take it beyond hotels to businesses in general, a lot of SMEs are going to be suffering through this lockdown and this crisis. People are talking about consolidation, that people must come together, especially small, medium enterprises must come together, work, form a consortium. What are your views on this?
Yeah, for me, I also always think not only hotel, anything, all kind of business, food business, all kind of business, if we can get together, become a consortium, it's very powerful and very good. When getting difficulty times, have a lot of people support each other, financial, all kind of things. But want to consortium, really not easy. Even 2 partnership, 3 partnership also get problem. This consortium, so many people, how to work. Now that is a concept. I said so. That is not easy. Want to get everybody different thinking, different people together, get a consortium. I not so simple. I try my best. See whether my food things are consortium can use my sales in 80 over country, can put together. I can help him to export. But whether people confident on you or not, trust you or not, very important. They must trust each other. Consortium, really, if you really open-minded, very easy. Everybody his own thinking, not easy. Sincere, how to sincerity all together, very important.
Well, hopefully things will change when with COVID. I think beggars sometimes can't be choosers, and if you want to survive, really, you've got to do all that's necessary. But my question to you as a big business, would you rather deal with small players or larger players?
For me, it doesn't matter. Partnership important, small or big, not issue. Issue is people. If the people really want to come all together, I will very happy we will come. Because we need the people know-how, idea, and work together. We have market to share everybody, no problem.
Sam, I want to now talk about your other business, property. People say location, location, location. You know, that's primary when it comes to an investor's mantra, but I think timing is also very important. And I thought that when you entered the KL market back in, I think it was 2015 or 2014, about that time that you entered the KL market. It was quite good timing if you think about it, because now you have your Eaton Residences. Eaton Residences, you started building it about 5 years ago. It's a luxury condominium in the heart of the city, and I understand it's going right now for 1,600 ringgit per square foot. That's about $400 US. I understand it's almost sold out.
Yes.
And the TOP is it scheduled for December?
Maybe now because of this COVID MCO things, I think will be delayed for 2 months or 3 months. Nobody knows. Yeah, okay. This one can't be here. If not, will be complete.
So you were very fortunate to have entered the market at that time.
This one is very fast. We're selling very fast, but we want to make sure the quality is right.
Okay, so that was Eaton Residences, a resounding success by all accounts. Then recently, you also bought a piece of land in KL's Chinatown. This one a much larger piece, about 3 acres of it. What are your plans? How have they changed?
No, now we just completed our party, 100% completed already. So we will tender for the building, but because this one COVID-19, everything will be delayed. So after MCO open out, then maybe we will try our best to start again.
How long would your timeline be delayed by, you think?
Actually, last month we will call tender. Last month, because of this COVID-19, quite tough for us. So must wait for after this everything go over.
When do you think that'll be?
So I hope soon as possible.
Again, you're not committing to a time.
We can't decide by ourselves.
What will you be looking out for to make a decision?
What do you mean?
Meaning, what are the indicators that you will look at to tell you it's time? Maybe it's government policy. I think that's the big thing. When the government starts to lift the lockdowns and ensure there's greater movement. Are there any other indicators that you would be looking at to tell you that it is the time to call for the tender?
So I think we must call the tender after this NCO, after finish everything come to normal, we must build a building. Everything you must complete it. Even you build this year, can sell next year, because location is very important. So we also have a very good location. A lot of people inquiry. Even we not yet open up, so many inquiries, so many coming in, want to buy this location in Chinatown. So I think market should be not much problem, only how much you can sell.
Do you think that you might have to, that prices would be softer after this?
For all the times, all our policy, we will not think about how much we want to. We want to think always how much our cost, how much we will add on to sell. Not because good time our price go to the sky. Bad time we even in our losing price we also sell. We don't do that. We very, very steady. Let's say our Eastern, the time our labors all sell 2,000 over. We only 1,000 over. After we go up to $2,000, we want our customer to make the money. Then he was happy when all the time GSH any project they all want to come in. That's important. You must make your people buy your house. People can make money. That's important. We don't try to when a good time we just shook out the price to the sky. We just try our best. Quality is more important for us.
Because it's all about the long term, isn't it?
For long-term plan. Even we build not so far open out for sales, also never mind. We can wait and we see how we move it. Must confident. Everything must confident.
Give me your perspective, your prospects for the Malaysian property market.
Of course, after this thing, I think Malaysian market will be sold out a lot. But still, I say location still is location. You only this piece in Chinatown, cannot go with second one. So people, if you need a location, good place, people still buy it.
You're also in China. You bought a piece of land you've tendered for a piece of land in Chongqing in China. This time, huge piece, 67 acres. You must be confident of the prospects in China.
Yes, we start to work. Even COVID-19, we still start to work. We have a second office, second people, design, everything came out. That location is one of best location because sliding around have 32 big garden, very big garden. Then they also say garden city in a Pisan, and also have one children park. It's bigger in whole China. Tourists a lot there, and then my port ratio is 1. Then now the people don't want to stay in a lot of people get together in China, yeah, because in front is the lake. I think the people will be look for this good location, good property. I will be very confident. Even not yet built, so many inquiry coming in. Even my friend, anybody, please, after you open, must give me one. I think sales should be not much problem. We sell only 1,600 units and 5-star hotel. Then the airport will be second airport, Chongqing will be there. I think it's really, really very, when you go to take a look, you know the wonderful places like in the city of Garden, sit on the lake on the top, very nice. And at the back, all the mountain, a lot of fresh air. I think this is not easy. This piece, we will get it not easy to get. It's very, very good piece of land.
Indeed, indeed. So you're confident, and things are picking up in China, I understand.
Yeah, China now, many places, the house selling well and price going up a bit. But China government still not let go a lot. But the bedroom getting more easier, much easier.
Okay, Sam, I've got a question here that I don't know whether you'll be able to answer this, and it's about your Tee Yih Jia business. Going back to that, the Popiah business. How is it with your payment terms? Are you seeing collections come in? Is there any difference in the way collections coming to you with the payment terms?
Payment for us, no problem. All is our old customer, old friend, 30, 40 years. So we some keep credit, some in LC, no problem at all. Even this COVID-19, your payment also very punctual.
And a follow-up question to that is, now not me, I'm not asking it, but the audience member is asking, what is your ideal gearing level?
Gearing level, for me, I always very worried about gearing too high. I very certain to get a loan from the bank and do my business. At least myself must more than 80%. Then I just going in, even not so good, I still can survive. If you getting 30, 40, even half, quite tough. When the timing at this time coming, these kind of things, then you suffer will be a lot.
You know, sometimes I'm listening to you and I'm shaking my head because, you know, before COVID-19, we were hearing about huge valuations, you know, companies that were geared to the hilt and they just collapsed overnight. And then I'm listening to you right now, and your gearing is, you know, you make sure that you have sufficient cash in hand. Some people might say you're old school. That's not how we do business anymore.
No, for me, because why we do the food manufacturing, we step by step. to go out. And then our business not bad, all customers supporting each other. Even some competitor going in the price very cheap, half price. My agent also never moving, change supplier. That is our long term. We take care of our customer take care of us. We know our quality, our price very fair. Because want to take out the market, we give big discount, and after take the market already, we just slowly increase. We don't do that. So for so many years, all my customers, they trust us. So always we come out with new product, straight away everybody support. So this is really, I feel very good. So for me, I will feel when you know the things, you go to do it. You doesn't know, don't try to do it. Because somebody expert people, he want to sell the company to you. The company only 3 things he want to sell. Number 1, he getting old, no successors. Children don't want to take over, can't be helped, sell to you. Then maybe you get a good buy, but price maybe not cheap. Because everybody think it's a good company, everybody give a higher price. If somebody expert, you want to sell, then you not expert, you buy over, even how cheap. When you want to sell, sure some story inside, you doesn't know. So I think want to buy any new things, really must careful and careful again. And can survive. Not easy, not easy.
Sam, maybe I could ask you one last question, following up from what you've just said. What opportunities then are you looking at right now?
For me now, a lot of banker, a lot of friend, a lot of business friend, so many opportunities. But now I think the timing still not right. Wait, maybe cheap, but not immediately make decision going down, because it doesn't know what's happening. Today, it doesn't know tomorrow. Because it's COVID, I think really for me, it's never think about this kind of thing happen in my life. But today, happen this kind of thing, I think would be number 1, health important. Try to stay at home. Try not meet too many people. Try to keep yourself healthy. Because if yourself not healthy, will be affected your family, your children, or your grandchildren, or your friend. Not so good. So today, I think everybody work together to take care of our health important. After health, just talk other things. If you don't have health, it's nothing. Health is 1. Just money is 0. How many 0? 100 0, 200 0, 1,000 0. 1 take out all 0. So health is number 1 important now, I think.
Thank you for that, Sam. I think there's no better way to end with that very, very sound advice. Your health first, stay home, stay safe. So with that, Sam, I'd really like to say a very, very big thank you for spending your very precious time with us. And, it's so generous of you to share your perspective. And I think we all need to hear what you have to say. It's what's come through for me is be patient, be prudent, and do your best. For the number of years that I have known you, one of the things I realize about you is that you're very committed to excellence, that anything that comes out of your hands or your factories, they must be good. And I think that if anything else, that is what contributes to your success. So thank you very much. I know this is a very minute platform for you to come and join us. You are very used to big television audiences, worldwide, regional. So I'm so humbled, Sam, and so grateful that you have chosen to spend this time to help all of us here in this webinar to hopefully become better with this crisis.
Thank you so much. I also thank a lot of people spend the time listen what I say, but my English not so good. I'm sorry, I try my best.
As long as we understand, and more importantly, it's not so much the English, it's the wisdom that you dispense. So thank you. Well, as for you, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I hope you walk away with something that you can apply through this crisis. But before you go, though, I really want to give you a heads up on who our next guest is next week. He's a Malaysian based out of the United Kingdom. He's one of the foremost social venture capitalists in the world with a fund size of about 250 million. Some of his contributors to that fund are also sovereign wealth funds. So Kim Tan is his name, Executive Chairman of Spring Hill Management, well known in impact investing circles. If you want to know what investors are looking for right now, follow that trail of funding. You want to tune in 4 p.m. next Tuesday. So have a look at that QR code, capture that in order for you to sign up as early as possible to hear out Kim Tan. Until then, keep this in mind. This season will pass and we will come out of this stronger and better if we stand together. So from all of us here at the Business Unusual team, our technology partner, VLAND Asia, I thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Until then, mask up and carry on. Goodbye.